Yo, muna ka mo siya. Ito, kasi yan.
Hindi na yun.
Good morning. Welcome po sa press briefing ni Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar. Happy birthday, sir. And good morning.
Thank you, Rocky. Happy birthday to you too. I would like to congratulate the new MPC officers. No, I believe that you just elected a new set of officers. Now, kung maalala nyo po, nung mga nakarang linggo, nagkaroon tayo ng bisita mula sa ibang departamento, si Secretary Vit Aguirre, si Secretary o si Solgen Joe Calida. Of course, kilala nyo na po si Secretary Salpanelo. No, so pinagpapatuloy po natin yung ating pakikipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang departamento ng ating gobyerno. Kaya today, since yesterday was my birthday gift to you is a star-studded guest list. Kasama po natin ngayon ang ating kalimpo ng DILG, Secretary Ismael Sueño, Mike Sueno, at kasama rin po natin ang ating Commissioner ng Customs Commissioner Nicanor Faldon. Meron silang mga balita na ibibigay sa atin para punong-puno ang ating dyaryo, ang ating mga payagan, ating TV newscast at radio newscast at online newspapers by tomorrow, Rocky. So if I may, I will
Yes, sir.
now introduce our first resource person. Is fellow man of faith. Before his foray into politics and government, Secretary Sueno graduated arts from Our Lady of Perpetual Help Seminary in Marbel and pursued philosophy from the Regional Major Seminary. Later in his life, Sec Mike chose to do more by serving our countrymen, first as elected mayor of Coronadal, South Cotabato, and then served as governor of South Cotabato. In 1997, Sueno was appointed to the Southern Philippine Council for Peace and Development, consultative assembly by then President Fidel V. Ramos. Prior to his appointment to the DILG, Sec Sueno has been active in various local and community organizations in South Cotabato. He founded the South Cotabato Foundation Incorporated and Tinguha Foundation, which are helping the poor in the provinces. Ladies and gentlemen of the Malacañang Press Corps, let us please welcome Secretary Mike Sueno.
Hello, good morning and happy birthday, Sec Mart. Okay po, I'm ready.
First question, sir. First question will come from questioners or no opening.
So I'm, before I used to watch this Malacañang Press Corps on TV.
Yes, sir.
Now I am here standing before you and I hope I can answer all your questions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, okay.
Please do, sir.
So maybe I was asked by Sec Ernie to maybe I can talk about the Masa Masid updates. You know what Masa Masid is? So Masa Masid is an all barangay approach to eliminating illegal drugs, corruption and criminalities, and enhancing development in the countrysides. So Masa Masid stands for, Masa is people, Masid is what's. Masa Masid is actually because we will focus on the barangay, this is an umbrella organization of all government groups located in the barangay, plus volunteers from the barangay. So, parang they will volunteer to come out in support of our government, especially now, no? Especially now that our president won on the basis of volunteers coming from the entire nation. Now we know that this volunteerism among our people still exists. This is why our president has a high trust rating. So, so we will seize this opportunity for our barangay people to volunteer themselves, especially in the elimination of drugs, was this criminality and corruption, and also enhancing development. So the objective of Masa Masid is to lift our people in the barangays out of poverty and becoming a society, a self-sustaining society, and a happy community free from drugs, corruption, and criminality. And our strategy is to coordinate all agencies of government in the barangay plus volunteerism from the people at the lowest expense from government and evoking immediate action from our people in the barangays, from the government and people in the barangays. Yun ang strategies natin.
Thank you, Secretary. First question will come from Pia Rappler. Microphone, please.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I
Yes.
just want to ask, ano na pong update on the investigations of the mayors linked to drugs? For example, the Albuera mayor was able to go back to his position. Will the same fate, will the other mayors also, will that happen to them? And what will be the basis for saying that there is not enough evidence and thus they can go back to their positions?
You are referring to this particular mayor from Albuera?
Sir, yes, and also the others who have been.
Yeah, all the others who were mentioned by the president, many of them came to our office, but they denied involvement in drugs. All of them denied. But one thing good is that they agreed to open themselves to investigations. So they have signed a waiver for us to investigate them. So we are now in the process of investigating all these mayors. As to the mayor of Albuera, he is back to his office because I spoke to General Bato yesterday. He said that there is no warrant of arrest yet issued against him. But the CIDG has already filed cases of illegal possession and the possession of 11 kilos of shabu. And we are just waiting for the warrant of arrest to come out to arrest him immediately.
Follow-up question, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yes,
How
good
about,
morning.
sir, the 5 narco generals? Are you
Well-
going to file cases against them?
For the two, maybe I can already mention Pagdilao and Tinio, Generals Pagdilao and Tinio. We are ready with a prima facie case against them, which I will sign when I get back to my office. As for General Diaz, we are finalizing the evidences against him because he was assigned in Region 6, while Tinio and Pagdilao were assigned here in Metro Manila. So it takes some time for us to really gather evidences against General Diaz. But we are sure we have the goods against him. We have evidences against him. As for Mayor Luot, Mayor Luot, we already lifted his supervision over the police And we have also canceled his license or permit to own guns and bodyguards. No, we also canceled all those. And since he is a new mayor, we cannot come up with evidences administratively against him as mayor. So, but what we are doing is we are conducting lifestyle check on him to find out that his assets are not proportionate to his income. So that is our strategy.
Sir, what particular cases are you going to file against the two narco generals? And when are you going to file it, sir?
Well, we will come out with the cases to be filed against them in due time. So maybe we can wait until tomorrow. We will publish that tomorrow. As for General Garbo, well, he's not in active duty right now. He's neither an elected official. So the CIDG will file cases against him. Okay.
Alexis Romero, Philippine Star, then to be followed
Alexis.
by Marlon Ramos.
Sec, have you seen the matrix of narco politicians?
What do you mean matrix?
The matrix, the list of politicians allegedly involved in drugs that was forwarded to the president.
We have our own our own record. No, so maybe I know the president has many sources. No, so we have our own source records also.
So based on your sources, how many local executives are allegedly involved or believed to be involved in narcotics?
Well, we cannot reveal, but I am sure that there are more local executives who are involved in drugs.
Kahit rough figures, hundreds ba or
If we include the barangay captains, maybe hundreds.
hundreds?
Still hundreds.
Eh, kung-
If we include the barangay captains.
Kung yung local executives lang.
Kung local executives, maybe not, maybe about 50.
50.
Or
All throughout the country.
all throughout the all I can say is that there are more who were not announced by the president.
And they are being investigated.
They are validated up to now.
And they will likely be part of the expose, the next expose.
We are not sure, but this is up to the president.
So since you have 50, you said you have 50.
Maybe more or less.
What do you say? What does this say about the problem?
This says that the problem on drugs is enormous. It has gone, It has expanded not only in one province but all throughout the country. This is why the president, we can understand the passion of the president in really eliminating drugs because it has proliferated mainly because of the protection given by our local executives and our police. So this is why maintindihan natin kung gaano siya ka-passionate, no? Ang niya. This is his primary mission, really, why he ran for president, to save our country from the clutches of drugs, of the menace of drugs.
Okay,
Thank you, Sec.
We accommodate 2 questions na lang or 3 questions.
Sir, good morning, Secretary.
Yes.
Sir, and
yes,
I understand you submitted a list of provincial governors who are doing their part in curbing illegal drugs in their communities. Can you explain, sir, yung vetting process niyo?
They are not only after or containing the drug problem in their provinces, but they are also model governors. No? They are governors in governance, in transparency. They are awardees, and they are good in the disaster preparedness, and they have made their provinces competitive when it comes to business. These are model leaders model local executives, so that the president is not only exposing the bad guys, but also the good guys in government.
Sir, I understand one of the criteria you use was dapat yung governors who are identified or described to be members of political dynasties should be excluded from the list, and also those who are facing charges in the office of the ombudsman.
Yes.
Pero nandun po si Ilocos Norte Governor Amy Marcos and Isabela Governor Boji D are both members of well-known political dynasties in their provinces.
Well, maybe they are, no, they are members of the dynasties, but they have proven to be very good administrators and very good governors. So maybe na outweigh yung pagka-members nila ng dynasties and by their performance as governors.
They're exempted from that criteria.
Not really, but they still remain as having dynasties in their respective provinces. But they are well known to be good administrators.
Sir, we know, sir, anong particular award yung bibigay sa kanila, and kung may bibigay ba sa kanilang some form of assistance as part of the recognition?
Not yet. But as per record, these are the governors, list of governors who have done very good to their provinces. So sa listahan, pero we are not giving them extra bonuses by being announced as the good guys in government.
Sure.
So we are not giving them awards.
Sir, magiging ano ba, no? On a regular basis, and will you also recognize mayors
Yes.
and other local officials?
Maybe next week we will come out with good city mayors, and the following week with good municipal mayors. Good performing local executives.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Marlon. Dexter Ganibe, and then Joseph Morong.
Sir, follow up lang dun sa
Yes po.
war on drugs.
Yes.
May complete list na po tayo kung ilan yung mga tauhan natin sa PNP na nasusugatan or nasawi dahil dito sa war on drugs.
Hindi ko, I am sorry, I do not have the list yet, no.
Or numbers of...
We expect the list to come to my office pretty soon. But right now, we do not have the list yet.
Last na lang, sir. Follow up
Yes,
lang.
yes.
Dun sa kay retired General Garbo, do we have the whereabouts of the general now?
Well, that is highly confidential, so we cannot reveal that, no.
So last question coming
Yes.
from Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Sir, just on the two, si General Pagdilaw and Tino, what's our basis for saying that you have prima facie evidence against the...
That's why let's wait until tomorrow until I sign it and we will make it public.
Sir,
Perhaps tomorrow.
tomorrow na yan, sir.
Yes, okay.
Pero in drug involvement nila yan, sir, no? I mean, their role?
Yes, their role in involvement and their involvement in drugs, because this is the basis of the pronouncement of the president.
Sir, yung sa si Mayor yung sa Albuera, why was he allowed to return to his post in the first place?
Mayor of Albuera?
Yes, sir.
Because there is no warrant of arrest issued against him yet. So this is why the CIDG has already filed cases against him, and we are waiting for the arrest warrant to be issued.
Sir, hindi naman yung tataka, sir, something.
Hindi naman. Siguro.
May commitment man not to?
Oh yeah, oo. May mga policeman tayo doon.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Joseph. Secretary Andanar. Thank you, Secretary Sueno.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dagang salamat, Secretary Mike Sueno. Thank you so much for gracing our media briefing today. On to the next. Resource person is a man of great courage and conviction, a nationalist and patriot. Commissioner Nick Faldon started his career in the military as a third-class trainee of the Naval Combat Engineering Brigade, formerly Naval Construction Brigade, or CBs, and was called into active duty by the Philippine Marine Corps in 1992. In this life, every one of us is given a choice, but the choice of Commissioner Nick is what separates greatness from the ordinary. And Commissioner Faldon chose the former by choosing the more difficult path of refusing a plea bargain from a sitting government. We are thus confident that such moral conviction will see this Batanes-born who had been awarded a Gold Cross medal, among others, through as he heads the Bureau of Customs. Commissioner Nick has 23 years of government service before rejoining the administration of President Rodi Duterte. Ladies and gentlemen of the Malacañang Press Corps, please welcome Commissioner Nick Faldon.
Happy birthday, sir. Yes, after 50 days, I believe we have to report to the people kung ano yung nangyari na sa customs. 1.3 billion of different types of contraband have been seized by the Bureau of Customs, ranging from drugs, red onions, sugars, and kasama yung mga pampaganda, cosmetic, mga fake or without FDA permits coming from the different parts of the world na pumasok. So, meron na tayong including 10 high-powered firearms that were attempted to be sneaked to the country through balikbayan boxes. Yan, ano pa?
Yes. Yes, sir.
We have also, okay na?
Yes, sir.
We have also have a strong case against one of our employee. The name is Customs Police Captain Arnel Bailoses. 4 individuals who have direct transactions with him testified through affidavit that previously, since 2012, they have been giving bribe money. It's called in the customs tara, amounting to at least 100 to 120 million pesos monthly. So I've already forwarded the case folder of this employee to the Department of Justice for investigation. That's so far as our effort to curb corruption in the Bureau is concerned. We have now a very strong case against this individual. In our effort to make the Bureau more transparent to the public, by next week, you can now view the Office of the Commissioners through online. We have set up, right now, the setting up of CCTV cameras in all the front-line offices of the Bureau of Customs have been ongoing. We expect that in the next 30 more days, the big ports in Manila can now be viewed publicly, all the transactions being done there. But my office is the first one, so that no employee will refuse the setting up of the CCTVs. By next week, you can now view me in my office, in my conference rooms, and everywhere that's within the Office of the Commissioner. So I'll set an example on the setting up of the CCTVs. Since my day one of office, I've invited you, the press people, to go to the Bureau and look for whatever you want, and our office is open. This is in line with the President's position of transparency. Even without the law being passed, we'll open up our offices. You can ask anything you want, and we will provide it to you. So that's as far as the transparency of the Bureau of Customs is concerned. We are continuously isolating and tracking all the Bureau officials that are believed to be very corrupt. In your previous report, some of you have already reported activities I have done, set up standards with the Bureau officials. Yun, so...
Questions? MPC?
Questions?
Marlon? Oh, Pia Rappler. Microphone, Alexis. Thank you.
Sir, President Duterte last weekend said that all the posts that are not cabinet secretaries and not career officials will be vacated. Do you consider your post vacated as of today?
I've received instructions from last night through Secretary Medial Dia to continue to discharge my duties.
Marlon Ramos.
Sir, regarding the customs personnel, you said bibigay ng TARA. Sino yung mga nabigyan niya? Sino-sino yung mga tao na yan? Are you considering also filing cases possibly against them?
That's why I turn over the case folder to the Department of Justice so that they will be the one to conduct investigation and come up with whatever courses of action it's necessary to be done.
Were you able to speak, sir, with that guy?
Yeah, I've spoken to the official immediately within the day that I received the information. And then, of course, nobody...
He denied us.
So that's why let's see the result of the investigation. The affidavits was given to me in the first week of July, immediately when we assumed. This is a result of a follow-up investigation I conducted after I apprehended at least 88 containers of red onions. So I follow up on the smuggler, and because of the smuggler, he was able to reveal to me the people who've been facilitating the smuggling commodities in the country. And that's the result of my investigation. So he named 2 people. One is a subordinate. That's why I have immediately recommended to the Department of Justice the conduct of investigation. So this has been an investigation in place since 30 days ago already. So we did not break it to the news so that the investigation can be conducted properly.
Thank you, sir.
Dexter Ganibe.
Sir, follow-up dito sa binunyo yung mga pangalan kay Bailosis. Pending the investigation, ano po yung order nyo po sa status niya as one of the employees ng BOC?
We are waiting for the recommendation of the DOJ how to handle the case.
So, pumapasok pa rin siya sa work as of this time?
Yes.
Okay, any more questions? Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
May we know, Commissioner, what's your revenue target for this year?
It's around 406 billion.
406 billion. Now that we are now in August, what are the indications of the revenues for the second quarter?
Third quarter.
Second quarter kasi June, tapos na yung June, di ba?
Yeah.
So ano yung, meron na bang figures for June?
In the past 30 years, 20 years, there's only 1 year that the BOC hit the target. Okay, we should understand that. So this year is not an ordinary year. It's a normal year for the BOC, meaning it's behind the target. Now in the first semester, 2 quarters, it's how many % below the target, and then we are picking up in this month. So we're hoping we can recover up to December. But that's the direction of the collection. We are improving in this month, but in July it's very low, as low as the other month of the year.
So what's the likelihood that you will reach the target for 2016?
We will work hard to at least reach the target, but it's really just one of the mandates of the Bureau.
But is it doable, the target?
I think it's doable. It depends on our ability to address the other issues that will improve the revenue collection.
How optimistic are you that you will reach the 2016 target?
When we talk about BOC, some people really try to rate the performance of BOC on the revenue collection. We can bring in a lot of commodities and reach the target, but we might sacrifice our mandate of border security. That's why we have these balikbayan boxes inspected. We have controlled the delivery of these 10 high-powered firearms. We have to make sure that We will not just bring in commodities here that will, so that we can hit the target at the same time we sacrifice one of our mandate, that is border security. So if you are going to rate the Bureau of Customs based on the tariff or the revenue collection performance alone, then we'll be missing in our two mandates. That's border security and trade facilitation.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Faldon. Secretary Andanar.
Thank you, Commissioner Nick Faldon. And the good news is Commissioner Nick has agreed to give his briefs, not the brief, but the briefs, the news briefs here at the Malacañang press corps. Right, Nick? Yeah, so once in a while he will be reporting here. Also, the LG Secretary Mike Sueno will be reporting also his accomplishments here at the Malacañang briefing center. And now we continue with normal programming. The next resource person is the most resourceful. It does not need any introduction, but he is a man of God. May we welcome our the mainstay, the main anchor of this press briefing room, Spokesperson Abella, sir. It's your turn already. I'm sure you have more questions.
Thank you, Secretary Andanar, Secretary Sueno, and Commissioner Faldon. Thank you. Sir? Any statement, sir? Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Right.
Sige.
Good morning. No, it's perfectly all right. Actually, this whole period is really dedicated to them, but so we'll allow for about 2 or 3 questions. Okay.
First question will come from TV5, Maricel Halili first.
Hi, sir. Sir, I just would like to clarify the statement of President Duterte with regards to United Nations. When he said that maybe it's about time for the Philippines and the UN to separate, what does he mean by that?
Well, basically, he was really just reiterating the fact that he was reiterating national sovereignty and the fact that he did not welcome interventions or what you would consider meddling. But but you know, the entire process of decoupling is not decoupling is not. What's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow used it. Is not to be taken lightly. But he was basically stating the fact that the Philippines is a sovereign nation and should not be meddled with.
Sir, what will be the possible implication of this? I mean, to our relationship to other countries, other members of UN, or the UN per se?
Well, we are not decoupling, I said. I mean, it was simply a matter of record. It was a statement. He was simply stating the fact that the Philippines is sovereign in itself.
But is the president willing to undergo in any kind of investigation, or at least to answer the questions of UN?
He welcomed it, right? Thank you.
Follow-up question? Joseph Morong, to be followed by Marlon and then Alexis.
So you said that that statement underscoring our sovereignty should
Yes.
not be taken lightly.
Yes.
But also you said that we are not separating from the UN.
I said
correct?
basically it was not a statement of, it was a way of stating. It was a way of stating that the nation is sovereign. Okay. It was not a statement of fact that we are leaving.
So no plans at all, sir.
I said, let me backtrack, okay?
Just to be sure, sir.
Let me backtrack. That it was basically a statement stating that we are a sovereign nation.
Okay. No intention to get out of it. Just to be clear, sir.
Okay, let me just put it this way. He said that basically it was a statement of sovereignty, period.
Ina Andolong, CNN Philippines.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, so how would you then describe the statements of the president then? I mean, he was talking about possibly taking back or stopping our payments to the UN, if only to start the our withdrawal from the UN. How would you describe that? I mean, was it a spur of the moment
It was not
comment?
spur of the moment.
I mean, out of anger? Ano po ba?
Basically, it's a way of explaining. You have to take it within the context of his conversations with the press, right? That you know that he's well. Kung kumbaga kukunin mo yan, you get the core of this statement, okay? And this is all a matter of explaining his basic core statements that as a sovereign nation, we cannot be meddled with.
Okay, he also used the term inutil to describe the UN. How would you then reconcile that? I mean, does he not recognize, let's say, aid given to the Philippines
He
by
talks
the
about-
UN previously?
I don't think he was referring to that. He was referring exactly to the way that the UN is well, inutil. That was the term that he used, inutil. No, that in terms of effectivity in implementing force, for example, when they are, for example, intervening in conflicts, international conflicts.
Lastly, from me, he called out the UN head, basically here.
Rapporteur.
Yeah, and he also when he was talking about parang protocol issues back
Oh, yes,
daw,
okay,
hindi,
right.
he wasn't informed by the
Yes.
UN maybe representative here. Is there now any effort to reach out to that? I believe resident coordinator ang meron tayo dito sa Philippines to clarify.
Having said what he said, it's now incumbent upon the other person to respond to that statement.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question like to?
Ace Romero. Wait. UN?
Wala ba kayong concern since yung Philippines is one of the most prone to disasters, and then yung UN tumutulong sa atin tuwing may disaster?
This is not to negate. No, we're not negating anything. We're not negating support. We're not negating aid. We're not negating all of those things. The president was simply stating the sovereignty of a particular nation.
What do you think are the advantages of leaving UN?
I do not have any opinions about that. Okay, there are no advantages or disadvantages. The president did not mention that.
Mardon Ramos?
Sir, the president agrees with the UN and all other human rights advocates that dapat yung due process must be upheld in dealing with criminals in enforcing the laws. Why does he consider the UN statement against extrajudicial killings as meddling with his governance?
Simply because we are able to handle our own investigations. And in fact, if you notice his statement, if you took it in particular, he was referring to the fact that the United Nations seemed to be singling out the Philippines in particular, and he was actually referring, how come you don't make human rights statements about, for example, the U.S. Actions against blacks, So in other words, he felt he was basically just reiterating the fact that these things are within our ambit. Within the ambit of national sovereignty, national concerns, and that there was no call for the United Nations to at this stage. There's no call for the United Nations to make any investigations, and that of course in fact as the question of Ms. Kalalang earlier, that there should have been if they really had any serious intentions about investigating these matters, they should have made formal presentations and not just made general statements.
So does the president consider any statement which he considers as against his policy as meddling, as
No.
interference?
As I stated, he said the United Nations, being a public institution, should have made formal representations because we also are a formal institution. It's not the statement that he was referring to. It was the fact that they were making statements out. They were just simply making statements without having made formal representations with the nation, with the president himself.
Sir, apparently the president is not aware of the assistance that UN has been giving the Philippines, lalo na nung panahon ng Yolanda and
those
after
things.
humanitarian aid.
Excuse me. Those things are two entirely different concerns. He was not disclaiming the aid. He was simply disclaiming he was taking umbrage at the fact that the United Nations, through their representatives, were making public statements without having made formal representations.
But the president said UN has done nothing to us anyway. He
Come
said
again?
that. Sabi po ni Presidente Duterte, the UN has done nothing to us anyway. So
Well,
might as well.
no,
Severe ties with.
Come again?
So might as well na we bolt out from the UN kasi wala naman sila nagagawa for the Philippines.
No, come again.
I'm asking that kasi are you planning to brief the president at least
No, he is-
on the relationship between the Philippines and UN and how UN is extending assistance to nations like the Philippines?
The president does not need briefing from me. Okay, he is perfectly aware of this situation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. May question? Other issue? UN?
Can we
other
move on
issue?
to
Other issue, Maricel Halili,
Other issues.
TV5.
Sir, yung sa...
Oh, yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
hello po. Sir, yung klaruhin ko lang po yun sa instruction ni President Duterte na yung mga presidential appointees should consider yung kanilang mga position na vacant starting today. Sino-sino po ba yung sakop nito? Is he talking about all the appointees?
As per update according to Sec Andanar, that this refers to appointees from the past administration, and that with the exception of 2 that were actually addressed, it does not apply to the current appointees.
Aquino and...
Joseph,
holdovers,
please
yeah.
use the microphone, please, Joseph.
No, basically this refer to well, as you would say, holdovers, but basically these are appointees from the past administration, and does not refer to appointees of the current administration, except those who have been made reference to. Okay.
So you mentioned there were 2. Sino po yung...
No, they made reference to.
Okay. So akala ko may dalawang
Hindi ba?
tao.
It's a dangling participle.
So sir, ilan po yun na hanggang ngayon ay nasa holdover capacity pa rin from
We don't have the numbers.
Okay. So sir, yung sa LTO and LTFRB, will they be called to the cabinet meeting later?
I'm not sure about the process, but they have been referred to.
So yung sa LTO, LTFRB, sir,
Come again? I'm not sure now. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Follow-up, clarification, and then follow-up. Sir, pwede pa ba kahit dalawa lang before si Sir may...
Yeah.
So, unahin natin si Weng de la Fuente, yung babae mo.
Sir, clarification with the ceasefire announcement. Kasi it seems dun sa briefing po ng presidente ay hindi pa niya alam kasi he said that he will consult the defense and the military
No, he said
officers.
he did make in other words, it's not just the date is here, let's go on. You know, he said it had to be what do you call it? It had to be reviewed, but I'm sure they will act on it as soon as possible.
So the announcement was made with the approval of the president.
Which one?
The restoration of the unilateral ceasefire. Kasi it was announced Saturday by Secretary Doresa, but during the early morning briefing with the president, parang hindi pa niya alam kasi hindi pa niya alam kung kailan i-restore yung ceasefire.
No, he was aware. He was aware of the restoration, except that there were some details that needed to be worked out.
So the announcement was known by the president. When
He was aware of the promise to restore it, but there had to be some items that needed to be worked out. That's why he said we will review.
So going back to UN, sir, are we going to pull out our troops?
We're not making any drastic moves regarding those matters. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Weng. Last question na. Dexter Ganibe and then Joseph Morong. Last 2 questions. Microphone, please. Kay Dexter.
Sir, follow-up lang dun sa vacancies. Binabanggit na yung mga appointments, holdover appointees nung nakaraang administrasyon. Tama po, ano?
Come again?
Yung sa mga vacancies na kailangang, ano?
What about the vacancies?
Yung in-announce ng Pangulo na yung mga appointees na mavi-vacant yung kanilang mga posisyon.
So what is the question?
Hindi po ba meron tayong administrative order number 1 stating that until July 30 lang yung mga nag-hold over.
Alright, okay.
So, ibig sabihin ba, nagtuloy-tuloy po sila? And kasama din po ba yung binabanggit na past administration ng mga appointees? Kasama din po ba dito yung mga, yung kanilang termino ay fix?
Meron po, there's going to be a review of those who have tenure. Heads of agencies who have tenure, they will also be reviewed.
Okay. Thank you. Next, our final question. Raymond Tinasa.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, just your reaction to the ongoing Senate investigation of Senator De Lima, and are you aware if the President is watching, monitoring what is going on the Senate hearing?
He most probably is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Back to our main studio sa Radyo ng Bayan at PTV.
Decoupling.